If you've been wondering whether you should buy now, wait until rates come down, or hold off for the perfect time, you're definitely not alone. It's probably the #1 question we're hearing from buyers. So what's our advice? Hi, I'm Kim Rock, realtor with the Kim Rock Group at Keller Williams, and today we're going to talk about what the market is actually doing, what the latest July numbers tell us, and why trying to perfectly time the market usually is not the best strategy. First, let's look at the numbers. In the Philadelphia suburbs in July, the month supply of inventory, or MSI, remained at 2.4 months, which is exactly the same as we saw in June. What does that mean? Anything under about 4 to 6 months of inventory is generally considered a seller's market. So while buyers have more options than they did a few years ago, we are still in a market where well-priced homes continue to sell and sellers still have leverage. Next, let's talk about home prices. The median sold price in July remained at $475,000, also unchanged from June. This is important because despite higher interest rates and many people expecting prices to fall, values have actually remained remarkably steady. Why? Because demand is still strong, inventory is still relatively low, and people still need places to live. Life doesn't stop just because mortgage rates change. Finally, homes spent an average of 25 days on the market, up just 1 day from June's average of 24. That's essentially what we call a flat market. Homes are still moving fairly quickly when priced correctly and presented well. The days of almost every home selling in one weekend with 15 offers might be behind us, but great homes are still selling and selling well. Now let's talk about the question that I hear almost every single day. Should I buy now or should I wait? Maybe you're waiting for rates to drop. Maybe you're hoping prices come down. Maybe you're wondering if next spring will be a better time. The truth is, no one knows. Not me, not economists, not mortgage lenders, certainly not the media. None of us have a crystal ball. If someone tells you they know exactly where rates or home prices will be 6 months from now, they're just guessing. The housing market is influenced by so many things that are completely outside of any one person's control. We've got interest rates, inflation, the job market, consumer confidence, global events, the list goes on. Trying to perfectly predict all of those variables is nearly impossible, and that's why trying to time the market usually doesn't work. So instead of trying to control the market, focus on the things you actually can control. Can you comfortably afford the monthly payment? Do you have enough for a down payment saved? Is your income stable? Do you plan to stay in the home for several years? Would buying now improve your quality of life? Those are the questions that matter, because ultimately, whether it's a good time to buy comes down to your personal financial readiness. If the numbers work for you, and if buying fits your goals, then it might be the right time, regardless of what the headlines are saying. A big misconception that I hear a lot is that buyers assume waiting automatically saves money. The reality is, sometimes it does, but sometimes it doesn't. Let's say mortgage rates drop next year. Sounds great, right? But what often happens when rates fall? More buyers jump back into the market. Competition increases. Multiple offers become common again. Home prices may rise because the demand increases. So while you might save a little bit on your interest rate, you could actually end up paying significantly more for the house itself. No one can predict exactly what will happen. That's why making a decision based solely on hoping rates change can backfire. Instead, make the decision based on whether buying makes sense for you right now. Remember, you can often refinance a mortgage if rates improve in the future. You can't go back and buy yesterday's home at yesterday's prices. Sellers, now I'm talking to you. If you're thinking about selling, what does July's market mean for you? It's still a very favorable market. Inventory remains limited. Buyer demand is healthy. Homes that are priced appropriately and marketed professionally continue to attract strong interest. However, today's buyers are more informed than they have ever been. They're comparing listings, they're paying close attention to condition, and they're noticing the pricing. The days of simply putting a sign in the yard and expecting offers far over asking is much less common. Presentation matters more than ever. Professional photography matters. Marketing matters. And perhaps most importantly, pricing correctly from the beginning matters. The right strategy can make a tremendous difference in both your selling price and your experience throughout the transaction. And buyers, don't let the headlines create unnecessary fear. Yes, affordability is challenging. Yes, interest rates are higher than they were a few years ago, but people are still successfully buying homes every single day. Key is having a plan. Understand your budget. Work with a knowledgeable lender. Know what monthly payment you're comfortable with, and be patient. Don't compare today's market to 2021. It's a different market, and that's okay. There are still opportunities for buyers who are prepared. If you're thinking about buying, selling, or you're just wondering what these numbers mean for you and your specific situation, we would love to help. Every person's circumstances are different, and there isn't a one-size-fits-all answer. Let's have a conversation, look at your numbers, and figure out what makes the most sense for you. No pressure, I promise. Just honest advice and perspective. Thanks so much for watching, and if you found this update helpful, be sure to like, follow, and subscribe for more market updates, local real estate tips, and everything you need to know about buying or selling in our area.